December 17th, 2024, 9:30 a.m. We're at Laguna Wood Village Community Center in the boardroom 24341 El Toro Road, Laguna Wood, California, 92637. The purpose of this meeting is to conduct the regular third mutual board meeting in accordance with Civil Code 4930 and was hereby noticed in accordance with Civil Code 4920. I'd like to, since we have a quorum, I'd like to call meeting to order. First, pledge allegiance. Director Johnson was supposed to, but who would volunteer to do that?
I'll do that.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director Karimi. Now, approval of agenda, third. Any motion?
So moved.
Yes, Robert move and Peggy second. Okay. Any question or wanted to see something? No? It's unanimous. Item 4, approval of minutes. November 19, 2024, regular board meeting. Any motion to approve? Robert move first and then Dada second. Any question, anything that we need to discuss? Okay, it's unanimous. Item B, December 6, 2024, agenda prep meeting. Any motion? Robert move first and then Reza second. Any question? Nope. Okay, so it's unanimous. C, December 6, 2024, special open meeting.
I move.
Okay, Peggy moved first, and then who's second? Reza second. Any question or? Okay, good. Thank you. It's unanimous. Report of chair. I have a couple things to report. All of our third mutual members. I have 2 things to report today. First, third mutual board is now full board. Unfortunately, some people are out. However, our third board of directors elected a new third board member. I am honored to introduce our new board of director who was elected at the third Board of Directors special open meeting on December 12, 2024. His term will be end at the 2026 annual election. Director Howard Fox, would you stand up, please? Thank you. I'd like to welcome our new Director Fox. Please give him a warm welcome, and please take your seat.
Which you did.
I wrote down the note as I see it. Thank you. Director Fox is a CPA. Our board need a CPA background director badly. So he will be a great addition to our board, and I am very excited having him on our third board. Thank you, Howard. Second, I'm also honored to introduce a third board of new VMS representative. We finally filled the appointment of the VMS board representing our third board elected on December 6, 2024. The new director term will be ending in 2027. That is Director Candice Tisdall. I don't know whether I pronounced correctly or not. Tisdall? Okay. Director Tisdall has 3 certifications. certified public accountant, CPA, certified internal auditor, and certified fraud examiner. I have no question that she will be a great addition to the VMS board. Now we have Director Rosemary De Lorenzo, Director Jim Glassman, and the Director Candice Tisdall. I'm proud of having them in the VMS board representing our third mutual board. Thank you for listening. Now let me go back to continue with the item 6B. 6. I would like to continue next, item 6, open forum. That said, it is time for us to listen our members' comments, such as suggestions, ideas, or complaints. Prior to prior to the member comments, I would like to remind that any open forum speakers are limited for 3 minutes per speaker. At this time, members only may address the board of directors regarding items not on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of this board of directors. The board reserves the right to limit total time allotted for open forum to 30 minutes. A member may speak only once during the forum. Speaker may not give their time to other members. No audio, no video recording by all attendants, and no rude or threatening comments are allowed. So, not Michaela, but Paul, do we have?
Yes, our first speaker is Joan Milliman.
Okay.
Thank you. Nice to be here. I come representing Robert's Rules of Study and your famous Robert's Rules group. We meet once a month, and we are inviting members of the board who would like to review Robert's Rules or learn Robert's Rules to come to our meetings, beginning especially in February. In February, we're going to be studying this book. It looks a little familiar, I'm sure, for all of you. But we're going to be using the National Association of Parliamentarians study guide, which is full of wonderful questions and conducive to great discussion, and is bound to help you thread your way through Robert's Rules. Why Robert's Rules, you say? Well, every body of people who make parliamentary decisions have to know Robert's Rules. And if you know corporate rules, it's not the same, as you may have found out. Anyway, our first meeting for review will be in February, and we meet usually the first Monday of the month at 969 Calais Aragon in the rec room. And you can find out where we meet and all that through the globe. The announcements are always there in the club section. Anyway, I hope that some of you will come and enjoy it. And in any case, if you just come once and you get the study guide, it's a self-study thing. It's easy to go through, and it gets you right into this book that you need to know so well. So thank you for your time.
Okay.
Next speaker is Chris Collins.
Okay.
Good morning, Chris Collins, 3306Q, and I'm here with an update on the work of the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village, which we do on behalf of residents who are experiencing temporary financial emergency. I can't hear you. Memorial Care Awards hearing grant to the foundation. I can't hear you. We've all heard that. Memorial Care is helping the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village start an important initiative to address the problem of hearing loss. Memorial Care recently awarded the foundation a grant of $12,500 to help purchase hearing aids for residents qualified for such financial assistance by social services. John Stevens, a generous resident donor, is providing matching funds in the amount of $12,500 to double the impact of the Memorial Care grant dollars. The grant funds and the donation will hopefully permit the foundation to provide hearing aids to at least 12 residents as part of this pilot program. The first step for residents who suspect that they need financial assistance to purchase a hearing aid is to have a hearing loss assessment. After hearing loss is found, an appointment should be made with the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village Social Services at 949-597-4267 to see if you are indeed eligible for financial assistance. More than 1/3 of older adults experience hearing loss, and the possibility of hearing loss increases with age. Hearing loss interferes with the ability to enjoy conversations with friends and family, understand a doctor's instructions, respond to warnings, and even hear doorbells. Related balance problems can cause falls. More importantly, hearing loss increases the risk of developing dementia, loneliness, and depression. Treatment with hearing aids may offer an answer. So if you have any questions about hearing testing or hearing aid financial assistance, please contact Social Services at 949-597-4267 or the Foundation at 949-268-2246 or the Foundation at comline.com. For more information about the Foundation, you can also go to our website at thefoundationoflagunawoodsvillage.org. Please note that donations can always be made using PayPal or a credit card on the Foundation website. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else we have?
Yes, so we actually have an email. However, the member is actually on Zoom right now. So let me ask him if he wants to speak or he wants me to read his email on his behalf.
If she want to speak, yes, please.
Keon, can you hear us? Hello, Keon?
She has to unmute, I think.
Keon, would you like me to read on your email on your behalf, or would you like to speak? They are not responding, so I'll go ahead and read their email. So I'm going to pass out these guys first. We're going to have to share.
Is this the email we got this morning?
Yes.
You see it?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't see it, but I did it. I'll give Howard.
Let me get Howard.
Okay, you want to read it?
Yes. Dear Laguna Hills Mutual Board of Directors, thank you for the time and effort you dedicate to overseeing the well-being of our community. My name is Keon Mujidi. I reside at Manor 4008, Unit 1B. I am writing to address the ongoing issue of water intrusion that has plagued my unit for the past 14 years. During this time, I have unfortunately experienced numerous occurrences of water intrusion on average once per year. To date, my guest bathroom alone has been demolished and rebuilt 4 times in an attempt to address various water intrusion issues. Each of these incidents have caused significant disruption to my life and well-being, often taking weeks or even months to resolve, and resulting in considerable stress, inconvenience, and health concerns. The most recent instance began on November 25th, 2024, and unfolded as follows. November 25th, security dispatch responds. November 26th, the plumbing department opens walls in both my guest bathroom and my neighboring unit 2B to locate the source of water intrusion, identifying and repairing a pinhole leak in the cold water copper line of unit 2B. The 26th through December 2nd, SAT Services initiates heating and humidification process of 1 week, including the Thanksgiving holiday. The 3rd to 9th of December, ATI blocks off the guest bathroom, conducting removal to demolition of bathroom walls, the vanities, and other fixtures, as well as installing heat equipment for drying and humidification. The area was cleaned and prepared for air inspection on December 9th. The 10th to 11th, IHS Environmental conducts air inspection. The 12th, ATI removes plastic sheeting and prepares the area for drywall repairs by STAT Services. The 13th, STAT Services documents the damage for submitting the estimate to the Association for Drywall Repairs. Homeowner responsibility, replacement installation of vanity and other bathroom fixtures and repairs. For your reference, I have attached photos of the aging corroded pipes in my unit, as well as images of exposed pipes in Unit 2B. While my neighbors and I acknowledge and appreciate the plumbing department's efforts in temporarily addressing the immediate water leakage, we strongly believe that replacing these aging corroded pipes should be a priority before any drywall repairs are made. With walls already opened up in both units, this prevents a crucial opportunity to address the root cause of the problem and prevent the recurring high costs of repairs for both the association and homeowners. I look forward to your response and kindly request that you confirm the next steps in addressing the pipe replacement. Your attention to this matter is greatly appreciated. That is crucial for restoring our peace of mind and ensuring a long-term solution to this ongoing, costly, and disruptive problem.
Okay, anybody? Okay.
Okay, we have Deborah Veery of 3133D.
Good morning. I'm appealing for the tree removal on my property. It causes leak damage on my roof, and it went through my bedroom. And there's a moisture and what do you call it, mold accumulated in there. So they fixed it, which is a few months ago. And I'm very much concerned on this. It's going to happen again because of too much debris dropping on my roof, on the roof of my property. So I'm appealing that to remove or replace it with something different, tree that doesn't drop. When they fix the roof, there's so much debris on the roof that causes the leak on my property. So I'm really concerned about this, and I'm so, I don't know what to say, but it causes my emotional and well-being on this. And if they could replace it or remove it, that will really help me. And also, it doesn't really, it's constantly dropping the thing, even in my walkways. It might be dangerous for me to walk on the walkways and, sleep or fall, whatever. And it's really, I'm just appealing to this. It just causes me a problem and stress on my part. And it costs so much money to repair the whole thing. It took them 3 days to take out the moisture on my property. So I'm appealing to this, and I hope you understand how I feel. Thank you.
No more member comments.
Just hold on. What is her unit number?
Her unit number is 3133 Delta.
3133
Delta.
Delta?
Yep.
Isn't that on the schedule to why we don't wait till then? Because it's on the agenda. These are for the speaker, not on the agenda. So we have to wait till the agenda comes up so we can discuss it.
So I wasn't aware it was on the agenda.
I didn't know that. is her agenda on, item is on
Because
agenda?
that was, yeah,
Item 9C2.
it is.
Okay. Is, oh, okay. We can pull that item and discuss at the time then? Okay. Can we do that?
Okay.
Okay. So when we come to consent item, we will pull that item and discuss, okay? Okay. Director Yun?
Since it's on the agenda, but I think she presented her case at the landscaping committee, and we gave her option. Didn't you come up to landscaping committee?
I don't recall that.
Yes,
She did?
yes.
She
It was
did,
discussed in
and
the landscaping, and the request to remove the tree was denied, which is on the
Yeah.
agenda.
So
The
that
option was she
yeah.
can have,
That was
you know,
denied at that time, and then we gave her option. If you do want it, you can use your own money to do it, as long as the landscaping has some kind of criteria and that meets. I think that was recommended, and she didn't take it.
Okay. I don't, to be honest, I
So,
don't recall that.
Mr.
Okay.
President, are we discussing that? Are we
No,
putting
that- I
that
think
out,
we-
or are we waiting till we
Waiting for-
get there? What is the plan? I don't
Okay,
know.
plan is we will wait until we get
We get to that?
Yes,
Okay. I
yes.
thought you said you were going to pull
Okay.
it out and discuss it now.
Right, so let's pull that item from the consent calendar. Okay. Any response to
It's not
speaker?
on the, so it's not on the consent calendar. It's on,
It is on the consent calendar.
It
under-
is
oh,
on
I'm
the-
sorry, yes, it is on the
It's-
consent
It
calendar.
is on the
That's
consent
part C.
calendar. Okay, so I will pull that out.
Okay.
Okay, now response to, yes.
All right, first of all, I'd like to thank Chris for coming in every month from the foundation to give us an update. The foundation does absolutely fabulous work, and I think that it behooves all of us as members of Third Mutual to do what we can to support the foundation and their activities. As for my colleague, Joan Milliman, I want to thank you, first of all, for all your years of service to the boards here in the village, and also for organizing, running, and maintaining the Robert's Rules Committee, or Robert's Rules Study Group. I think it really is a very important one for us and for board members to participate in, so thank you. That's it.
That's it? Okay, anybody else has a comment? Okay, I do have a comment. Thank you, Joan. I love to participate in that Robert Rule study, so I'm going to contact you to detail schedules you have. Yes, I will. And we all need to study and learn more about the Robert Rule study. To be honest, I do not know that much at all either. So just utilizing common sense. Second, 4008-1B, Kian. She verbally authorized to investigate what is going on with her unit has been moisture intrusion 4 times, as long as she remember. This is the 4th time that she had it. Someone told me around that unit area, the 8 times, but I don't believe that is that many times. So I asked our MNC department to see if I was approaching MNC to find out what is going on for repair work and so forth, what is the plan detail, and I didn't get the information. So I forward that information to Siobhan, and I hope she get the full information as to what we're going to do with repair work and so forth. So far, I visited her unit, and just to repair the with the couplings, couplings, they just repaired the pinhole leak. And what they're advocating is why don't we just pull the whole pipe, copper pipe, to repair the whole section of it? Because she had 4 times intrusion with that area, in that area. So that's idea or opinion I was going to convey to our MS department, but I didn't get that chance to do that.
I would say that's a good recommendation.
Yes.
Yes.
I would say that's a good recommendation, because once they start having pinholes, then your pipe is of no
I
value.
thought so too, but according to what I got response from the MS director saying that they don't have to repair that. They don't have to replace that. So I'm going to ask.
We'll revisit the issue and get back to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yes.
Schwan.
I think this is an MNC issue, and I don't know if there was a ticket. It never was discussed, to my knowledge, in the MNC, and I don't know why it directly comes to the board when the MNC didn't have a chance to look at it and make a ruling before it comes to the board. So
Okay.
I suggest that it put on the MNC with their staff report, so MNC committee can make a rule on that and advise the board of the next step.
Okay,
Because
yes.
I have no clue what we're talking about, and I'm on MNC.
Okay, I know that, yes.
And I certainly do, Reza, I certainly do understand that it needs to go through M&C. However, the question I would have is, when are they currently anticipating closing the wall?
That's
If
exactly.
they're anticipating closing the wall before M&C committee meets,
No, my question is why it hasn't been with the MNC? Why?
I hear
This
you.
is a process that should, if there was a ticket and there was a plan.
Yes, there was
and
ticket.
should have been
Should have come to
discussed in the
MNC.
MNC, and I have no clue.
I agree.
So for that reason, I can't say anything.
Right, I understand. But the problem is when moisture intrusion happen, the plumber go out there, find where the leak happened, and they repair that section immediately. So before, the idea of the resident is before we close that section, they tore down first floor and the second floor, both guest room. Before they close it, they want, their idea is, why don't we just
Right.
replace
Why-
whole pipe?
why don't we
Yes.
wait, why don't we wait to hear from Siobhan and Emmanuel Gomez, and then once, and if you would distribute whatever response to the full board? So
Absolutely.
the full board can see it? And
Yes,
then
but
we'll be able
however,
to-
based on
then
MSC
MSC
plan,
can still
I don't
deal
know
with
when
it.
they're
No,
going
if
to
the-
close that wall.
Yeah,
That's
but-
the,
No, if the whole full board make a
Yes.
ruling, there is no reason
Right.
for it to go back to the
No, no,
MNC.
but I'm not asking the full board to make a ruling, I'm just asking the full board to be informed.
right.
But this is not a new issue. It says for couple of years, they have
14
the
Yes.
same problem.
14.
And nobody on the MNC, there is no background in the MNC that what was the plan and how it was dealt with. So I don't know.
Okay, yes,
If we have an issue with process here, I can understand us wanting to correct that. But this issue has gone on long enough that I think that we should be able to come to some terms. And I would like to see Siobhan come back to us with some solution.
as quick
to
as
the
we
board.
can, and before,
As soon as possible.
yeah, before MSC people close the wall, we like to be informed. That's how I felt urgency of this. Okay, so Siobhan, please let us know what the plan is, and would you please close that wall before we decide what to do with it? Maybe? Okay? Okay, good, thank you. Anything else we want to respond? Okay. Okay, thank you. So if we don't have any further question or respond to the speaker, we'll go to item 8, CEO report. Shiva, take over, please.
Thank you, President Park. As 2024 comes to an end, we are looking at VMS's accomplishments, celebrating our successes, and reiterating our commitment to continuous improvement. This morning, I'm hoping to highlight some of VMS's recent accomplishments, celebrate our progress, and our intent to work for a brighter future in conjunction with each of the boards of directors. In terms of financial services, we completed the 2025 fee review for golf, equestrian, RV, and traffic fees. In general services, Village Television is using AI to generate closed captioning for TV6 programming, saving more than $40,000 a year. General services also renewed 2 revenue agreements with A12 and Arizona Pipeline for more than $60,000 in revenue. General Services also continues to implement the fleet rate sizing assessment that is saving more than $600,000 over 4 years through vehicle reductions, changes to vehicle class, and pooling of vehicles across work centers. Fleet Maintenance has also implemented a parts cleaning unit, making this service more efficient and saving more than $5,400 a year over using an outside vendor. As you know, Human Resources and Risk Management is leading the effort to identify insurance savings and best practices. In terms of non-union employee health insurance, VMS continues to implement an alternative funding strategy that reduces costs without adversely impacting employee benefits. The estimated savings compared to budget for the current year is approximately $300,000. The 2025 savings compared to budget is projected to be more than $80,000. And as you know, in terms of mutual property insurance, United and Third Mutual collectively renewed insurance on June 1st with a combined premium savings of about $2 million. Information Services is leading the Enterprise Resource Planning Project. Phase 1, our accounting system, went live on September 1, and to date, Financial Services has been able to successfully close 2 month-end periods. Phase 2, which is forthcoming, focuses on resident services and field services. Information Systems and the Office of the CEO recently launched the new community website that offers a fresh, modern look, improved navigation, secure password-protected governance documents, and an enhanced search function. Landscaping Services is focusing on quality control. Work inspections are completed following scheduled maintenance by crews. To date, more than 1,200 inspections have been performed in 8 months, and the average inspection score is 98% out of 100%. With respect to Friday's clippings pickups, the pilot program using clipping bags shaved more than 5 minutes off each ticket, and we estimate when this is implemented fully, it will save more than $20,000 per year. The department has also augmented its dump trailers by using higher sides. This increases capacity by 150% and reduces trips to and from the mulch yard, and will save about $74,000 annually. Maintenance and Construction led the negotiation of a 4-year union collective bargaining agreement. Our Manor Alteration Division has made great strides by streamlining processes for processing mutual consents. This reduces the processing time to 2 weeks or less from what was previously 8 to 12 weeks. The department has also processed the backlog of damage restoration cases for the mutuals, and we're very appreciative of all the board members who have participated in this process with the extra hearings. In terms of Maintenance and Construction, they have completed JRF projects on time and within budget, including the Clubhouse 1 beautification, Clubhouse 7 floor replacement, Equestrian Center security fencing and gates, and so on. For the mutuals, the department has completed the balcony inspections on more than 265 buildings, roof replacements on 37 buildings in Third, drywall repairs and exterior paint on 46 buildings and 165 manors in Third Mutual, epoxy lining for 6 3-story buildings in Third Mutual, and termite fumigations in 40 buildings in Third. The Office of the CEO has implemented electronic meeting agenda packages for in-person board meetings. This saves more than $25,000 a year and obviously is environmentally friendly. And we continue to advocate for the preferred delivery method. This is where residents get their annual mailings via electronic delivery instead of U.S. Postal Service. This saves more than $7.50 per packet. In November, approximately 30% of our residents opted for electronic delivery, and this will save about $28,000. To receive electronic documents, residents may simply email info@vmsinc.org. The Communications Division in our office digitized prospective resident tours. This eliminates bus and driver costs for a $20,000 annual savings, and developed a 20-minute comprehensive community tour video that takes viewers to the previous tour destinations and then some. Residents may view the community tour video on the homepage. Communications has also launched a new village living education program to help new residents learn how to get involved, stay in touch, and encourage engagement after they receive their resident ID cards and become members of the village. This program is held on the second Tuesday of each month at 1 p.m. in the Community Center Elm Room. Recreation and Special Events coordinated the outsourcing of golf maintenance. The GRF-approved Troon golf contract was effective on December 1st, and golf maintenance staff is now filling the long-standing landscaping services vacancies. The estimated cost savings of this is more than $180,000 per year. Through the Clubhouse One renovation, the department has been able to create additional reservable space at the Performing Arts Center due to the billiards consolidation. And the Clubhouse One project included new plaster on Pool 1 and a chemical distribution system for the pool. Probably the most remarkable project is the implementation of the new callback feature in resident services that reduces resident hold times. Residents may now leave a callback number for a return call according to their order in the telephone queue. Through October, more than 7,500 callbacks have occurred with a 2-minute and 26-second average wait time. This also reduces additional calls to the call center, making everything more efficient. Security Services is collaborating with the city, Orange County Fire Authority, and the Orange County Sheriff's Department for integration into the countywide coordinated communication system to provide timely, effective assistance to emergency responders and to acquire greater situational awareness of specific activity by first responders in our community. The department also installed a kiosk at the Security Services front desk. The system logs and quantifies activities, enhancing oversight and data management. The VMS board has awarded 3 Bright Idea Program Awards to employees this year. One is for the staff-developed resident services queuing system out in the lobby, which saves more than $7,400 annually, and also for the use of an emergency window device to enhance community center and resident employee safety, and development of a process to better communicate approved resolutions to departments. 2 additional suggestions are under review for a $200,000 per year possible savings. And lastly, a reminder, residents are now eligible for full-time employment with VMS. To view openings, residents may visit lagunawoodsvillage.com, scroll to the site's footer, and click Careers. And that concludes my update this morning. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Question?
Thank you. That was quick. Okay. Oh, yeah. Go.
I have a question, and that is on the resident eligibility. Does that limit the level an individual can become full-time at VMS?
Currently, it does not. The only limitations are on current and former city board members.
May I make a recommendation that we look at the level of employing a full-time resident to VMS?
Yes, I would suggest you pass it on to your VMS representatives and they can bring that forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Siobhan. I know that the third board pulled from the budget 2024 for the Shepherd Crook not to be installed, but as of yesterday, around gate 10 and 11, we're pulling new barbed wires. I'm confused. We pulled that, and now we're spending money on pulling barbed wire instead of Shepherd Crook, which was $30,000. What's happening?
Let me check into that, please. I'm assuming it's a quick maintenance repair, but I will get back to you.
Yeah, because that is kind of weird that we pull money and then we do maintaining the, with the spending money maintaining the barbed wires.
Again, please let me get back to you with the details.
Yeah, that is kind of using the word oxymoron.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes.
Yeah, along those same lines, Siobhan, I was under the impression, maybe mistakenly, that the city passed a ruling that we could not replace the barbed wire with barbed wire.
Correct, but we can maintain it. Please let me get the details,
Okay,
and I will get
but
back
they're
to you
pulling barbed
as soon as
wire right
possible.
now.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, some of our PMS employee who contacted with the resident, and some of them are on their own schedule, on their own time, and not in consideration of a resident who apply for it or ask for it, and so it may be beneficial for everybody. We can give in-service or some kind of training to all our employees, make sure the resident is on their first priority, conducting their business. And some of them, I got the email I sent it to, and he said he cannot print it out. So he asked me print it out and handed them to real copy. So I did that. If I can do it, BMS does not have that kind of technician who can do it. Thank you.
I don't have any comment for that. Siobhan, would you?
I don't have a response this time. I can follow up with Director
Yes.
Yoon directly. Thank you.
Okay, good, yeah. Any more question or? No? But I have some question regarding the our maintenance and construction completion of Clubhouse 1 beautification. I was getting some information that there's some modification or some improvement need to be done, something in that nature?
Yes,
Am
we're
I-
continuing to work with the contractor on the punch list items. That's absolutely correct.
Okay, yes, good. So would it be possible that we can list out what punch list item is and then when can be done, that kind of, or?
We're just working through it. We give updates at M&C
Okay.
and the GRF board meeting on a regular basis.
Okay,
GRF has to provide that because it
GRF,
goes to the
okay.
GRF MNC.
okay, that's fine. Equestrian Center, security fencing and gate. I guess this is all also related to GRF for the.
No, this
banners.
is, I think they're doing it on the third property, although I don't know the wall after the gate that goes to the street, which part of it is GRF, which part of it is third, but they pulling the wires.
Yes,
you know,
okay.
The barbed wire, if they're pulling barbed wire, why they didn't put the shepherd crook?
Again, we'll get you an
I don't
update.
understand.
Okay, so please give us an update on those. Okay, and another thing that I have a question is, since golf course is maintained by Troon Golf Course, I noticed that the people are working different than previous workers. So I'm not going to say positive or negative, but to me it's different. I went out there a couple of times and watched how they work, what's going on with the people, and it is different. And I'm wondering why we can't do that ourselves. So that's my question. And we have now 15 people or 18 people to the.
15 employees transferred from golf maintenance to landscaping services, and the transition is
Yes.
going very well.
So we'll get the better service now then.
Landscaping services will be beefed up,
We'll be
yes.
better, yeah. Okay, so.
Yeah, I think the goal was to go from 4 cycle to 6 cycle, but
Right.
those additional employee because the landscaping didn't have enough or had a lot of vacancies. So
Right.
those people moved into the vacancy in order to provide additional
Right,
services.
so-
That's my understanding on this.
Are we correct?
On Kurt's sitting in the audience. If you wanted to address that, please feel free, sir.
Yes,
He
please.
doesn't want to get involved.
I just want to make sure we get the service that we deserve.
Good morning. Bringing the workers over from golf just filled vacancies. The additional service levels that Director Freeman was talking about, we're hoping to attain by contracting out mowing. So that's your extra service levels are going to come from that to golf people just filled the vacancies we had. We had been using contract workers for that, so now they're all in-house, which is a better plan for us in the
Good.
long run.
Good.
I was half correct.
Okay, I saw that, I went to 2226 unit area, and Harvest people working very hard. You know, they took a very big ficus tree down, and they are trying to remove all the root, and was hard work, so I saw that. Thank you. Any more question or information that we want to share? No? Okay. So we'll go to consent calendar. But Paul
Mr.
will pull
President,
the number. Yeah.
I'm going to make a motion for the consent calendar to put C2 out and do the rest of them in one motion.
Oh, good. So who is the second? Okay. Peggy second. So any discussion regarding consent calendar item? No?
Yes,
Okay.
consent-
Yes, you do?
As a consent calendar, pulling item number 2C.
Item number
C2.
C2 is being pulled. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Now
we're gonna pull it and move it to new business. under
Yes.
11E.
Okay. 11E? Yeah, okay.
Or you can put it 11A1. So that comes first because we don't want them sitting here all the
Yeah,
time.
why don't we put 11A1? Yeah.
Yeah,
That
just-
will be good.
Okay.
Let's
Let's
subgroup it.
discuss first.
Yeah, so we can,
So that she can go home.
just She looks anxious.
Okay, so without that, are we
All
okay
voting
with
yes?
all in favor? Yes, that's good. Consent calendar is being approved. Okay. Now, do we have any question regarding number, we got to vote?
Yeah, we already did.
Yeah, I got to vote now on the consent calendar.
Yeah, okay, so do we? Done?
made the motion.
Peggy has a comment.
Oh,
I
she has-
made the motion that was seconded for the consent calendar.
No, that was to pull the item.
Yeah.
To pull the item and to approve the consent.
Yes.
calendar.
Right,
done.
yes, that's
It's done.
what we
It's
got.
Oh, it's
yes.
done, okay.
Yes.
Moving on.
Thank you.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on to item 10. Okay, unfinished business, we don't have, right? Okay. Item 11A1, finally.
Okay.
Yeah. Deny the request for the removal of 2 Cannery Island pine trees located at 3133D via Serena North. So, are we going to discuss?
What is the background on this for my?
Yeah, I
edification?
think we need to let the members talk first.
Yes,
And then we go to the,
Just hold on. That's agenda item 9C2, page 102, on the yellow page. That's the resolution that we came up last time. Yellow page. I hope everybody has it, right? Okay? Okay, so let her talk.
yeah.
Do you want Kurt to talk first or the resident to talk first?
So
Let the
she doesn't
members
wanna
talk, I think. I apologize. I think we should let the member talk and then Kurt can talk and then we can discuss.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
I just want to inform that the thing that happened on my property, I know it's going to happen again because of the needles piled up in my roof, and it's going to happen again, I'm sure. And this will, it's not good for my health because of the moisture intrusion. It, becomes mold. And it's hazardous for the health of older people, especially. And I'm very much concerned about this. And it would cost you more money to repairs over and over, instead of removing the cause of the problem, is the tree. So if you remove the tree, there won't be any more problem. So why can't I just ask you guys to help, understand my situation here, my feelings and my stress and my well-being, and I'm very much concerned on my property. I know I don't own the whole outside, but to prevent the damage, more damage on my property, the tree is causing it, should be removed. And there are a lot of trees are being removed, it doesn't cause any problem, and they're replacing it. Why can't we replace a tree that will not damage my property?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
How are the tree needles impacting the intrusion?
When they fix the roof, there's tons of needles, and the roofer told me it's too much debris on the roof that the water cannot flow down because of too much of that debris. It accumulated, and the moisture went down through my roof and down to my bedroom. That's what they told me. And said, and since they don't clean the roof, nothing, it just stays there. And then when the rain comes, the water doesn't flow very well, so it stays there in the roof. So that's why it causes the moisture and go in through my bedroom. It took them 3 days to take out the moisture because it's too wet, very wet. And they said the roof leaks. And it's more money to spend on repairs and repair. I know it's going to happen again because the needle doesn't stop dropping.
Okay, thank you.
It will just keep dropping the needle.
Thank you.
Yes, I know. Okay. Yes, Director Moon.
Kurt, may I? Kurt? No, Kurt. I think at the landscaping meeting, this come up, and Kurt was assuring us this is not under the criteria of, so we denied it on that issue. So residents have problems at this time. At that time, we have to review or review our criteria. Or if we're going to allow each resident to come up, then the criteria will be kind of washed. Okay, so I like to see that, Kurt, is that time for you to review the criteria and then add this kind of situation, or you don't think it's needed? It needed to be individually we have to deal with it.
I believe the criteria you have is clear. I think this falls under the criteria. The roof leak she had, the plumber's report does not say it was caused by needle backup. And may I remind the board that you already denied this request back in April. This is the second time it has come before you, so this isn't the first time. This tree is due to be trimmed in 3 years. It's not overgrown, it's healthy, and it is a sufficient distance from the residence. If we start removing trees because of pine needles on roofs, you'll be running out of trees.
I now recall. Yes.
If we read the staff report, said inspection condition of the trees, when the trees are in good health with no sign of pest damage, no decay, dead or broken branches. Now the members talks about the roof. The roof belongs to the HOA. It doesn't belong to the staff, it would belong to the member. So if there is a roof problem, with the HOA deals with it, not the, I don't know who was the roofer that told the members that there was a problem with the needle. I suggest that on the side of landscaping, there are no issue with the trees to be cut. It doesn't match the criteria that we have for cutting those trees. But on the side of the water intrusion, I suggest that we send one of the MNC or expert to look at the roof and give us the determination that is the tree causing any problem with the roof or not. Because if that report says no, there is no reason to cut the tree. But if they say there are any reason, then we need to discuss it. That's what I suggest to do.
Okay? Yes.
And at the same time as we ask that, because certainly we need to know the relationship between the tree and the roof, you indicated it's scheduled to be trimmed in 3 years. The question to ask the roofers or the landscape people or whoever is, would earlier trimming decrease the amount of needle? I don't, I can't see the tree, so we don't know how many needles would continue to fall on the roof if it's trimmed back a little bit. So removing a tree is something that we can't keep doing. We won't be Laguna Woods anymore, and so we have to be careful. But perhaps if it's appropriate, consider trimming it if the roofer says that there's an issue. So when the roofer looks, just the combination of does it have anything to do with the tree, and would trimming make a difference?
Yeah, Donna, we discussed that in the meeting, and we offer, because when it's out of a schedule, trimming is at the cost of members, because they want to do that. And we gave that option to the member, and the member said she doesn't want to do it.
Okay. What I'm asking, though, is not for the member to trim it. I'm just asking for an opinion of the people who do the roofing, et cetera. Would fewer needles make a difference? That's never been clarified. So same question, same cost when the person's looking at the...
Robert, you have anything to say?
All right, that's obviously a picture of the tree.
Yes.
And some of the debris on the roof.
Right.
At this point in time, I understand the suggestion about asking somebody from the plumbers or whoever from M&C to go out and look at the situation. But at this point in time, given the fact that this is now a second request that has come in on the same issue, I move that we deny the current request, send out the right people to look at the roof situation, and then if they believe there's an issue, they bring it back to the M&C committee or to the landscape committee as appropriate. But at this point, I move to deny the request.
Any second?
I seconded it, and let me say one thing. Okay. Once we set up the certain criteria, we have to abide by, unless that criteria is changed.
Right.
So right now, we have to abide by whatever criteria is, as you said. If we think there's so many residents coming to us, similar problem, we may ask to change the criteria, review the criteria.
Okay.
But we have to abide by criteria. Thank you.
Yes.
Justin, a rule of thumb of mine is there are exceptions to every rule. So given that, I agree with Robert. So I would second a motion from you, Robert.
Oh,
Moon already seconded.
Yeah, Moon second. So,
He did second it.
so my question is to you, Kurt. If pine needle caused backup of flow of water and caused leaking of the roof, do we have evidence of that throughout our village?
Not that I'm aware of.
That's MNC.
I mean, you have sometimes in gutters, but there are no gutters on this side.
Right. So it's the first time I heard there's some argument that pine needle accumulation on the roof caused leaking on the roof. That's, yes.
If Kurt, help me out here. If I remember correctly, last year United considered removing all canary pines.
That was a couple of years ago, and it was 400 of their canary.
400 canary pines that they were going to remove. In the end, they didn't remove them.
Correct. They trimmed them.
Okay?
Yes.
Because
What
they
was the
trimmed-
reason?
Because they dropped the pine needles and people said, okay, let's get rid of the 400 canary pines,
Okay.
right? And United voted not to do that in the end, and they did a couple of trims to address the issue. So let's have,
That's why I asked about
that's
the
why I
trimming.
put this motion on the floor. Let's
Okay.
go this route, and then we'll see where we are.
Refresher, the reason for the removal of the pine trees in United was overcrowding mostly and close to buildings. They've got a lot more trees per acre than you guys do. They're almost double the density. So that was part of the driving force was to reduce.
But they rejected it.
Yes,
They
absolutely.
still even still, they rejected it.
Yeah, the
Correct.
density.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. So, good to know. Thank you. So voting is in progress, so everybody vote.
Could you repeat them?
So what are we voting for one more time?
We're
To
voting
deny the-
reject- Yeah, to deny.
Yeah, the initial one, I think, was to deny the request for removal of the 2 Canary Island pine trees located at 3133
Okay,
Delta.
so should say yes or no if we deny? Okay, which way?
Yes, to deny.
Yes, okay. I don't know. I guess not.
Now, the question is, do we need a motion
I'll
to
fix yours.
ask the MNC to look at it or not?
No, we will look at it and
Okay,
then either
that's
report
good
back
enough.
at
Okay.
landscaping committee or the
That's enough.
MNC
That's
committee.
good enough, thanks.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, your request been denied again, so we will send VMS crew to find out your roof status, okay? Okay? Thank you. Okay. Now, item one, A1 is done. Now, item A. Entertain a motion to reconsider the damage reimbursement administration fee. Donna, could you read the resolution, please?
Yes, Resolution 03-25-XX, Administrative Fee for Damage Reimbursement Proceedings. Whereas pursuant to Civil Code 5855, the board's required to hold hearings to impose any monetary charges to reimburse third for costs incurred in the repair of damage to the common area or facilities caused by the actions or inactions of a member, his or her tenant, guest, invitee, or vendor. And whereas significant staff time is necessary to investigate, document, and prepare concise reports for the damage reimbursement hearings, and whereas the board adopted an administrative fee to offset the administrative costs incurred, now therefore be it resolved January 21st, 2025, that the Board of Directors hereby revises the administrative fee for damage reimbursement proceedings, and resolve further the administrative fee for costs related to damage reimbursement proceedings will be a minimum of $100 or 10% of the total reimbursement for all decisions regardless of the amount, whichever is greater. And resolve further this fee would become applicable at the point the hearing notification is generated, as at that point additional staff work is involved. And resolve further, Resolution 03-23-121, adopted October 17, 2023, is hereby superseded and canceled. And resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. I move the board accept the resolution and that it be placed on 28-day notice.
Thank you. Who's second? Robert. Okay. So first and second? Yeah, Robert?
I'd like to speak to the motion.
Yes.
We have had, this is really for the people who are watching and the people in the audience, we have had, as a board, people come forward and challenge, let's say, a $50 plumbing charge. And it costs us, as a third mutual, all of us, all the residents, anywhere between $100 and $200 to process that challenge and have the person come forward to challenge a $50 fee. So if that person is unsuccessful at the moment, they would be charged the $50 plus a $20 fee. So for us to go through that process is costing all of us anywhere from an additional $80 to $180. Okay? So that's the reason we want to now raise the minimum administrative fee to $100, in part to say to people, look, you're challenging a $50 plumbing fee. If you are wrong and you actually are responsible for that $50 plumbing fee, you're now going to pay an additional $100 to help offset all of our costs. That's the reason for this.
So I hope everybody clear about this. Any more comments? or yes?
Yeah, I don't have any problem. I have two questions I have. 10% is open-end, in a way, depend on the cost of a total amount. So that is somewhat, I'm a little bit uneasy, but I will go along with it. Second one is damage cost. A lot of residents come up. The bill they received, there's a lot of error in it, to their mind. I'm pretty sure department send correct to their mind, but you have two sides. Let's say I have a $10,000 of a bill, and the resident think only $3,000 is there, and then $7,000 is they think it's not. So that is the problem if you see that. And then a lot of time the resident does not have enough resource or enough appeal or enough things and to correct it. And then damage department just deny it. They don't have any recourse. And then they will bring the eject the hearing committee. Most of our committee members will go along with our department, not the resident. So I hear a lot of complaints from resident that side. So what we have is, the $100 or this is $100 should be. But if you have an open end, and then they may have to pay for which they don't think is their responsibility. So that is, I think, a little bit concerned. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, please. Yes.
I'm Stuart Hack, 2393, 3D. The feeling I get from this is that there's no point in contesting a relatively small charge. Just pay it, because it could cost me even more by contesting it. It feels like you're telling me, don't even question our charge.
No, actually,
Yeah,
that's not.
I'm telling you how it feels.
It might feel that way, and I apologize if it came across that way. The thing is that we have found most of them, I'll give you an example. We had an individual who came before the board and was contesting a $50 plumbing fee. They called the plumber. They called and said that there was a leak in their unit underneath their sink, because their back wall under the sink showed evidence of a leak. The plumber came out, looked at the situation, and said, this is an alteration. Your garbage disposal is what's leaking and putting the water against the back wall. Plumber left because it was an alteration, and the resident did not ask the plumber to fix the problem, said, I'll take care of it, and left. Sent them a $50 bill. The resident comes forward and says, the plumber didn't do anything. Why should I have to pay a $50 bill? The plumber didn't do anything.
I know,
I'm just giving you as an example. We
yeah.
get those kinds of challenges all the time that eat up. The board is sitting in on a whole day of those kinds of hearings, and then we get these challenges from people who just, that's the problem.
Yeah, I get it. I understand the economics of it, and I understand the advantage to economically as well as living as a board member, that cut back on the stuff which makes no sense at all. But there is another side to it.
Yes,
And
I hear you.
And that's the other side. And I'm wondering, to keep peace in the family, to prevent us looking like we don't care how you feel. Live with the ones who are the ones who are doing it, who are not fair in the way they're handling it, in order to protect those who really have a reasonable gripe and should have the opportunity to bring it forward. It's just a balancing act.
Well, if they have a reasonable gripe, we're not saying don't bring it forward. We have actually found people and said, yes, you're right, and that $50 plumbing fee is waived.
Yeah, but my risk with my reasonable gripe is that you'll feel differently than I do. and you'll come back with a result that's different than what I think is reasonable, and then I'm at risk doing this. I'm at risk even bringing it to you. That's what I'm trying to
I hear you.
say. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah. To add what I said earlier, to the resident point of view, okay, the damage restoration assigned certain vendors to correct whatever their problem is. I can see that for the third mutual, we don't want to have a health-causing problem like mold or that, so we need to act immediately. But if for resident side view, they can market it out, they can price out about 3-4 different vendors, and then they can choose what they have. But right now, they don't have that choice. So our department will send somebody. They may charge about 5-10 times more than what they can. So there's a twofold problem. One is their choice is very limited or none at all to the vendor. Second, some of their billing, they think it's not theirs. It's overcharged. So a lot of residents complain about those two things, and we need to listen to them. Okay, I was one of the victim as well, but we needed to listen to them. I like to give them choice if it's at all possible, and then if they think the bill is not theirs, we have to listen to them, investigate, and we have to, either we have to decide that they are right or compromise or whatever. We have to give them chance to talk about it, not just blindly we cut them off. The complaint or the unsatisfaction is really sky high right now. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Joe.
This is really very interesting. It brings up a philosophical issue that our board and our community is operating under a misconception. And the misconception is that in this case, for example, either the member is right or wrong. Actually, the Davis-Sterling Act shows a very, very substantial legislative bias in favor of the resident. There are 4 separate sections of the Davis-Sterling Act that allow a member, that recognize a member's right to go to court against the HOA. And in each of those 4 situations, it provides that if the member is right, the member gets their attorney's fees. But if the HOA, if the member is wrong, the HOA does not get its attorney's fees unless the appeal is frivolous. And I suggest that what we are doing throughout this community and what we've been doing for years does not recognize that imbalance. The imbalance is in favor of the member. It's not equal at all. And so I agree with Moon that, and with Stewart, that the member is entitled to priority in terms of the complaint. So if a member comes up and complains about a $50 charge that they think is inappropriate, and it's a reasonable request, it's a reasonable complaint, then there should be no administrative fee. If there is no basis for the application, if the member is just flat out wrong, yes, there should be a cost involved. Okay. So I would therefore respectfully vote no.
Okay, yes.
Well, I respectfully disagree that the committee that sits on these hearings are in favor of the staff. I think that's a bad message. And for myself, when I sit there, I'm in favor of the members unless proved otherwise. So please have that in mind, that the committee of this board is not 100% saying what the staff said, we accept, because that's really a bad image for myself that's sitting here, because that tells me I don't give a hoot about what's happening here. And I'm really upset about that, because I do. I'm here to protect the members. We listen to the reason in that committee, and we decide based on the evidence. And based on the evidence, there is no right or wrong. There might be shade of grays in between. And then we discuss that. We cut some of the costs. We could, reduce some of them. We waive some of them. And that's what we do in favor of the members, because that's our job, to take care of the members. So if somebody says that I'm going to sit there and be in favor of the staff, that is bad image that we're putting out there. And I'm resentful to that. I don't like that, because I'm not.
Yes.
And Jules, I think, if I heard you correctly, if the person who comes before the board with a challenge to a charge, if they're found to be correct, there is no administrative fee. That's completely waived. It's only if they're found to be incorrect and that they're actually responsible for the charge that the administrative fee is applied. Now, the other thing related to this is, yes, you're talking about being oriented towards the resident and focusing on the resident. We have a responsibility to all residents, not just to the one who is challenging the charge. We have a responsibility to everybody, because everybody else is paying all those additional fees.
Yes, I respectfully disagree. The point is, there are not residents on both sides. In the situation that we're talking about, it is a resident complaining about what they may be charged by the HOA. They're not being charged by all the other residents. They're being charged by the HOA. So in this case, it is completely one member against the HOA. And in that situation, it really is not who's right and who's wrong. The question is the point that I'm trying to make, and the point that the legislature made when it enacted the Davis-Sterling Act is they will be on the side, they will go out of their way to favor the member in the issue, and therefore, if the issue is reasonable, there should be no charge. It's only when the issue is unreasonable, when the member is taking an unreasonable position, that's when the charge should apply. That's at least my position on this issue, and what I'm saying is it is completely consistent with the legislature's determination. I can give you the 4 separate sections of the Davis-Sterling Act, which says exactly that. You must favor in the event that there, and that's really one of the reasons why the Bill of Rights says, in the event that there is any question will be resolved in favor of the member.
I would like to call for the question, please.
Because that is what the legislature enacted.
I think we heard you.
I call for the question.
Okay. My question, yes, please. Please, Joe. Yes.
Okay,
I have called for the question.
okay,
That normally stops the discussion and calls for the question.
Okay.
okay, can I go?
It's for a vote.
You have to put up, if there's a second to the call for the question, then you have to put the call for the question up to a vote.
Okay.
So I will go ahead and second the motion. You have to do a call now to see if you want to stop the discussion and call for the vote.
Okay.
That's the
Do we
Roberts
want to stop at this point?
Yes.
Any-
Yes.
Can we
The
vote?
discussion, isn't it?
I seconded, so now you have
Okay,
to vote on it.
Yeah. Should we vote, or do we?
vote to continue or deny that.
Okay.
Or
I still have some question regarding,
Did you close the discussion or?
If the motion passes, then the discussion would be closed. If the motion fails, then discussion
So
continues.
Peggy, you
Okay.
motioned to close the discussion?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
so let's vote. Do we want to vote yes? Or do
If
we-
you vote yes, you're voting
then
for the
vote
motion
close.
to close. If you vote no, you're voting to continue discussion.
Right. So do we want to vote yes? Go ahead, vote yes. 3.
3.
Do we want to continue? No?
4.
Director Yoon, do you want to vote no or yes?
I want to continue discussion.
Then you
Right,
vote
so
no.
vote no then.
So it's 5-3, motion fails, discussion continues.
Now, yeah, let's continue discussion. Okay. So, Director Yoon, you had a question. Please, quick.
I even forgot, but let me say this. The intention of this, the resolution is, okay, we want to recuperate our members, our staff's expense. That's the first aim. But we are not trying to make money, right? So let's say steps, if you have open end 10%, if I have 20,000, 10%, 2,000, we're going to make money. Is that what we're trying to do?
No.
So the resolution seems to me, as I said earlier, the open end of the upper end, I'm very uncomfortable.
Okay. Yes, Donna.
Yeah, as I reread the resolution, there really isn't anything in here, from my perception, that speaks to whether or not the original complaint that the resident is raising is reasonable, whether it speaks to the Davis Sterling issue that was brought up by Director Zallen. So my suggestion would be that we kind of table this, go back and review, is there a way to word this so that, yes, in the case of frivolous complaints, because we can't do that, and that is unfair to all of our residents to be paying this, hey, I can just challenge that and what the heck, if I lose, it doesn't matter. So that somehow if we look at the resolution and can possibly reword it in such a way that it incorporates the intent of Davis Sterling, that we do that and bring it up in another month at the
Okay,
next
who was
meeting.
first?
I would say
Yes.
that once you get into the concept of what's frivolous, what's not frivolous,
I know.
that's not going to be able to be decided until you actually have the hearing. But I agree with Moon that what we should do, since we said the cost is between $100 and $200, I would move to amend the resolution to cap the fee at $200 so that we recoup the maximum amount. So it's minimum of 100, maximum of 200, regardless of whether it's a 10,000, 20,000, because if our cost is $200, that's what we should recoup.
I second
I make
that.
the motion to amend the thing to say that it's minimum of 100, 10%, or a maximum of 200.
I
Okay.
second that. No, I was just seconding the motion.
Any discussion with that motion? The minimum of 100 and maximum of 200? Yes, go ahead.
There is another way of handling the issue that Donna mentioned, and that is to interpose someone in the middle, maybe an ombudsman, maybe a volunteer lawyer in the community, to at least have another step in the application, which can get rid of perhaps frivolous motions. Now, I realize this is extremely subjective, but we are very subjective here. I mean, we act like we're, some government, but we know darn well that most of the decisions, or many of the decisions at least, are made on the basis of personal feelings.
Okay.
And I suspect that if we could interpose someone in that level, we may get rid of a whole bunch of frivolous, or not frivolous, but unreasonable applications.
Okay.
I agree with Donna.
Yes.
When you have a chance, I think we might have a member's comment on this one.
Members comment on that?
Yeah, when you
one?
have, let's go through the board first, though.
Okay, yeah. So,
I think what we're talking about, that we don't trust the committee that sits on this, discussion. The committee sit there with the members and listen to the, to the side of the issue from the member side and from what the staff said. What we're talking about, that we don't have a trust in those decisions because we want to bring more. And whenever you bring more in, there are going to be more complication and there are going to be more issues. So be careful what you wish for because that's going to increase a lot of or impact a lot of other activities. I suggest that the best is that we trust ourselves because right now we don't trust ourselves. We're saying, well, we don't know how to decide on these things because we are not fair. We are not. And that's what I'm hearing. And that's upsetting to me because if we are not, then we should not just be involved with it at all. We should just put it at a different level. But if we believe that we are impartial and we look at the, at the interest of the members, then why we want to introduce more and more and more steps into this process, which is complicate the whole situation. That's my concern.
okay, yes.
We have two motions going. One is to change the original definition of 100 to 200 maximum. And that's with Roberts. And that is a motion before the board. And then we have the question. So I would like to see us vote on the first motion
Yes.
of Roberts.
Yes, I do have some questions, but I'm going to hold that. So it's about time to vote.
I
regardless.
think we need to do the members' comment.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, please.
That's Keon Mujidi. Can you please speak, please? Keon, can you please speak?
Hi, are you able to hear us now?
Yes.
Yeah, so you are speaking on this item right now for the damage reimbursement administrative fee.
I
Can. I cannot
She's
hear
got
her.
feedback.
yes. My neighbors also in Unit 1A and 1C are here, and we were trying.
You're going to have to turn off your TV in the background.
Let's turn that off. Sorry. Can you hear us now?
Yes. Go ahead and speak on this current item, please.
No, it's not current item. We already decided.
I'm sorry we weren't able to unmute our microphone because it was muted on your side during the open forum. And my neighbors in 1A and 1C were here. We are still here, two of us. And they have also sent emails to...
Ma'am, we're not discussing that item anymore. So if you don't want to, we're on item 11A now. We're not doing members' comments anymore.
I understand, but the secretary just contacted me and wanted me to speak.
Yes, you can speak on this current item right now, which is the damage reimbursement administrative fee. So if you don't have a comment on this one, I will have to excuse you from this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. I think it's a time to vote. So the amendment is minimum of...
Minimum of 100, 10% to a maximum of 200.
Okay. So are we voting?
Yes.
Ready to vote?
Just clarification.
Oh, yes.
So we are voting, if I understand the motion that's on the floor right
To
now,
amend-
that we are not going to amend this, or we are?
No, we are amending
Okay.
the original motion.
And,
Which
but
is the
only in
original motion
relationship to
is
setting
what
a
you read, the
maximum.
resolution that you read, where I'm suggesting to amend that.
only to insert a maximum but not address any other components.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
So, let's vote. Are we in favor of?
No, you got it in front of you to vote.
Oh, yeah, we can vote here. Yes.
Wait,
Well, no, that.
Yeah, so it's not going to be reflective on your end. So it's going to be reflective on my end that we're doing an amended motion right now to cap the fee at a minimum of $100, 10%,
Yes.
and a maximum of $200.
Right.
So it's
But
what,
it's the
what
wrong
you're seeing
motion.
on the screen right now is not going to reflect that, but that's what you're voting on right now.
Well,
So
wait.
just FYI.
But that does, wait a minute, hold it. But
We're voting.
We are not adopting the revised, we're simply
Voting to revise.
voting
yeah.
to revise.
To revise.
And then we
That's correct.
vote on the revision.
That's right.
Right.
Correct.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. So although we are using this voting, that's voting only for revision.
Yes, we're doing. Yes.
Okay.
It's not going to be reflective on the screen, but just
Right.
trust me.
Okay. I have a problem. I cannot vote. I'm voting for yes.
Okay, I'll vote for you.
Okay. Okay, good. So it's passed to amend resolution. So next item is?
I'd like to take up the original motion.
As amended.
As amended, right?
As amended.
So, original resolution as amended, right? Okay, so Peggy,
Move.
motion, and then second motion would be?
I'll move second.
Okay, Robert, second. Are we clear now?
Yes.
Okay, I think everybody clear. So, any discussion further? No. So let's vote. Me? I'm vote yes.
What are we voting for?
Are we voting for?
The motion as amended. The original motion as amended.
Which was to impose minimum.
Minimum of 100
10% to a maximum of 200.
to 100, yes. Oh, he's having problem too.
No.
Okay, motion passes 5-2 to 1.
Okay, it's a motion passed. So could you publish this motion?
Wait, that goes on 28 days.
28-day notice, yes.
Yes, we'll get that
I'm
in
sorry,
the minutes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
The final review.
Right. So, I'm going to read that one more time. Should be the board endorse the proposed resolution, which is minimum of 100, maximum of 200, with a 10% fee. And the staff recommend that motion will be on the second to accept the resolution, allow discussion to ensure that the resolution read to satisfaction of the board. Staff then recommend the board member postpone the resolution to the next available board meeting, which is 28 days. No less than 28 days from the postponement of to the comply with the Civil Code 4360. Okay? So in other words, 28 days notice until next board meeting. Thank you. Are we clear? A. Now, item B. Entertain motion to reconsider the appeal policy. 28-day notice as well. So, Donna, could you read that, please?
Yes, Resolution 03-25-XX, Appeal Policy. Whereas Third Laguna Hills Mutuals, known as Third, governing documents require a member to seek approval from the Board of Directors, his board, on various matters of corporate business by way of the committee structure or management. And whereas the board recognized that need to amend the appeal policy to streamline the process and provide efficiencies, now therefore be it resolved, January 21st, 2025, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves the revised appeal policy as attached to the official minutes of this meeting, and resolve further that Resolution 03-23-70, adopted June 20th, 2023, is hereby superseded in its entirety and canceled, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. I move the board accept the resolution and that it be placed on 28-day notice.
Any second? Okay, Robert second. Okay, so Francis is here, so could you come out and explain this motion, please, resolution, please?
Good morning. So before you is the appeal policy. Your governing documents do require that a member seek approval for various matters such as variance alterations, landscape requests, and they go to the committee level for review, and then it gets escalated to this board for review and approval. Also, California Civil Code Section 4765 does document or does provide that any decisions made at the board level or any committee that's an extension of the board, such as your executive hearings committee, are final decisions that are not appealable. In 2019, the third board amended the appeal policy to include those changes from Civil Code and to capture everything together in 2019. The key things in that version of your appeal policy was that appeal requests by members be done within a 30-day time limit from when the decision was made, that new information be presented for the board to consider, for it to go before the board as an appeal hearing, and the third key component in that version was that the matter would be reviewed by the subject matter experts, so the staff in the respective department that's involved in that respective request. That was the policy that was approved in 2019. Last year, in June of 2023, the board revised the appeal policy, removed all those stipulations, and kind of created an appeal policy that was all open. So any member at any level who wanted to appeal the decision from the board for the board would just request an appeal, and then it would come forward. Staff would carry it forward to your closed session. Since that change happened back in June of 2023, so last summer, your appeals have doubled. So it went from 4 the previous years to 9 year to date for just 2024. And so what staff is recommending, that in an effort to streamline the process, staff is recommending to revert back to the previous policy that you had that requires the 30-day limit, that new information be provided to be considered, and that the matter be reviewed by staff prior to going before the board as a whole. So that concludes my report, and I'm available for questions if the board has any.
Yes, okay. Yes, Robert.
I do have a question about, I'm looking at page 9 of 14. I'm in the last paragraph, and my question is also the same, going to be the same for page 11 of 14, last paragraph. Okay? It says, the SME will review any request for reconsideration based on extraordinary circumstances if submitted in writing within 30 days. Then if you drop down, it says, in no event, however, shall any reconsideration request be considered by the board after 1 year from the date of original file. That seems to me to be very confusing, because if they have 30 days for extraordinary circumstances, why do they then also have up to a year?
Oh, that might be because we were trying to combine what your CCNRs have. Your CCNRs allow a member to respond to a request or not appeal, but meet with the board on decisions that have been made up to a year. So the policy we're creating, we're asking the members to submit their request within 30 days of that decision. However, your CCNRs do allow the members to request a meeting with the board, such as a meeting conferring an IDR, not an official appeal, up to a year from whatever decision was made.
Okay, so you think this is clear?
No. So we could split that off so it's two separate things.
You said
It
no?
could be two separate. I did agree with that it's not clear.
It's not
And
clear?
it's in two
So
pla- it's
the
in
way
two-
I understood,
It's in two places. It's on page 9 of
Yeah.
14, and then it's also the same paragraph on page 11 of 14.
Yeah, so we could expand that and provide clarity. So it
Please.
could be more clear and have the document stand by itself.
so the way I understood was, okay, within 30 days, members should appeal or repeal or whatever you need to appeal the process within 30 days.
Correct.
After 1 year, you are not, the appeal policy is not subjective, right? You cannot appeal any longer after 1 year.
Correct.
Okay.
After up to 1 year. So if a member, so today, you went through your consent calendar, you did approvals and denials today. If any member today chooses to appeal your decision today, under this new policy they're proposing, they have up to 30 days to submit a request to appeal the decision.
Right.
Your CCNRs, however, allow them to still meet with you on this exact same decision up to a year from when it was decided. So,
Up to 1 year.
correct.
So after 1 year.
If they have filed within the 30 days. No? Yes or no?
No, it's regardless, because
Okay.
the 1 year piece is a meet and confer internal dispute resolution meeting with you as the board regarding any items.
All right, so that's why that needs to be separated out and clarified.
Yes. So
Okay.
I will provide, I could change the language on those two areas for clarity purposes.
Okay, so everybody clear with this resolution? Robert second. So any question regarding this appeal policy? Yes.
Isn't it appropriate that we now have yet another issue in the same meeting that brings to mind the legislative intent to favor the board member in most circumstances? I strongly object. I'm sure this is no surprise to anyone, but I strongly object to the adoption of the new appeal policy. It epitomizes what's wrong with our disciplinary procedures. It says all decisions shall be final and not subject to additional review, subject to certain exceptions. It's called an effort to streamline the process and provide efficiencies. We've had a lousy 9 appeals in 12 months. That's really a great deal of difficulty and burden on staff to put out an agenda. Someone is appealing something. Here's what they're saying. That's a real lot. We can really get a lot of efficiencies. Sure, we can streamline the process by screwing the members, by taking away their right to appeal, for example, a guilty verdict. Why the need to appeal? Why the need to streamline the procedure for 26 appeals in 6 years, even if there are additional appeals right now? Pardon me. What did I do with page 2? I'm sure this is, yes. Is it worth saving that tiny bit of work to deny every member the most basic rights that all of us at least take for granted, whether we have it in our rules or not? Everybody expects. And in point of fact, even before these new rules were in effect, the board was regularly, the executive hearing committee was regularly hearing appeals. There were numerous appeals, whether they had the right to it or not. This is solely for staff's benefit and for members' detriment. Staff, by this provision, seeks to prevent the member from complaining about staff. Staff can't do any wrong. So staff initiates a claim before the Executive Hearings Committee. It prosecutes the case, and now it seeks to prevent the member from appealing the case. No matter how crazy the decision is, and no matter how crazy the fine is, the member is stuck. As I will show when I discuss my proposed Bill of Rights, staff has already stacked the deck against the members in two ways. One, staff alone decides whether to file a complaint. There is no unbiased third party to determine if staff has a good case. Then staff secretly provides the judges with all the information it has.
I'm sorry, but I would like to call for the question.
I'm in the middle of making a comment.
I understand, but we've been over the Bill of Rights a number of times.
We're not talking about the Bill of Rights now. I'm talking about the appeal process. And what I'm saying is, with this new...
Do I have a second?
Let him finish.
Okay, so go ahead, please.
Yeah. Now, with this proposed new rule, staff is saying that even the craziest decision can't be appealed. That is basically un-American. I challenge anyone here to cite a single situation where a person has no right to appeal a disciplinary conviction. It's unheard of. I'm glad staff proposed this because it really shows where their heart is. But are you willing to tell our membership we've changed our procedures so no one can now appeal a disciplinary decision, even one with a whopping fine? I cannot tell you the amount of money that staff has occasionally suggested that the hearings committee impose on a member for the most ridiculous things. Clutter. I won't go into the amount of money. You won't believe the amount of money that they ask. Staff's own agenda attachments shows the weakness of their argument. Here's the current policy on page 49. It is the stated policy that members shall have the right to appeal decisions, blah, 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 blah. That is a policy. When we change ordinary rules, it should be a solid basis for making the change. But when we change policy, there must be an even stronger reason for making that change. Policy means philosophy. It shows what we think is important. It's our standards, our values. It shows who we are, the way we treat each other. Here, staff is asking to take away a basic right that every member takes for granted. For what? So that they can provide efficiencies. They don't have to bother with a tedious job. The proposal stinks and should be shouted down.
Joe, can you summarize it? Oh, you're done?
Done.
I am done.
Thank you.
Vote
Okay.
it down.
So, can you respond, staff?
No, let
respond?
Reza respond. It's the same issue.
I think we talking about a rule that we put in place and the members need to follow. If the rules are broken, we want to tell the members, according to what I'm hearing, it's okay. Who gives a hoot? You know, we set the rules, you broke it, we're not going to do anything with you. Without that, without the rules and, policies, it's going to be a jungle. If somebody do the clutter, and we have several of those, and they don't clean it up, what is the right of the neighbor to that? The neighbor have a problem. And now the clutter said, oh, doesn't matter. I want to do this, and I can appeal it and appeal it and appeal it till you're tired and tell me I'm okay. We have the rules and a procedure and policies that need to be followed. This committee that do that, just look at the committee and look at the situation and make a decision. Again, we don't give any credit to this board that's got to be impartial and the side of the members. And that's the heart of this issue. We keep talking about it, that we have to put this in there because we don't know how to do this. We are not impartial. We are not fair. We are not treating members right. And that's absolutely wrong. I have a problem with that. I think we do our best. I'm not saying we're perfect, but we do our best. And we give appeal policy the chance for them to bring it back and look at it. Maybe different group of people on the board look at it. And that's how things work. Without that process, we are not going to be able to govern this, city. And without that, it's going to be a jungle. And I'm not going to be, happy with that because that's not going to work.
Okay, yes, Robert?
Okay, first of all, I apologize to the staff because I think that the comments made about the staff are inappropriate.
Thank
So I want to be on record as apologizing to the staff. I completely disagree with those comments. Second of all, I fully agree with what Reza is saying. We are being viewed by those previous comments as also being partial, and I don't believe that's the case. There are many instances that come before that committee and the board where we find in support of the member, not anything else. So based on all of that, having heard all that's been said, I'd like to call the question.
I second.
Okay. So, since we have a second question, are we going to continue the dialogue or we stop?
Stop the dialogue.
Okay.
You got a motion on the floor.
Yeah. So, can we vote yes or no? If we yes,
Stopping the dialogue.
We're calling
stop
the
the
question.
dialogue.
We're calling the question.
Okay. So, let's vote. Are we going to stop the
You want us to vote on here or on up here?
where?
To stop the dialogue, you can raise your hand.
Raise your hand? Okay. Stop the vote. Good. Thank you. So let's go back to
So now we vote on.
resolution to vote on appeal policy.
With
Everybody
with
clear?
those clarifications that we talked about.
Yes. So are we going to clear those two items? Which is
Yes, I will
30
clear the
days
language.
and then 1 year CCNR. So you're going to provide us with the minutes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going on 28 days.
Yeah, it will be 28-day notice, and the next month we'll vote out, right? Okay. So are we ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, let's vote. Are we in favor? Oh, we got to go through this.
President Park, you can just give me a thumbs up or down.
Okay. Oh, somebody voting, yes. So 6-1?
You're missing a vote. There you are.
Okay, good.
7-1. Motion passes on the...
Motion passed.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, motion passed, and it will be on 28-day notice. Okay.
And I would just like to say something to staff.
Yes, please.
I do not like the fact that you are reprimanded in front of us. So I support the staff, and I support all that you do.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'd like to make a comment too. So the way we are saying about the staff, completely partial to their own benefit, I don't think that is right. And we should be impartial to all the cases so far. That's what I like to hear it. We are here for institution and residents.
But I do not believe that the staff in any way should be diminished in how we discuss it.
Yeah.
We can discuss the problem and the issue.
Right, exactly. Let's do, yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm ready to move on to the next item.
Oh.
Entertain a motion
Yeah,
to
thank
open
you.
nominations for treasurer.
Right, okay, just hold on, let me read
Ready
it.
to move
Let
on.
him catch up.
Just hold on, let me go back. So we're all done for item A and B. Now, item 11C, important.
I nominate Donna.
Okay, second.
No. First,
We
you have
gotta
to
open
move
nominations
to
first.
open
Yeah.
nominations.
Yeah, so,
I make the move to open nomination for the new treasurer for the third.
Who's the
mutual
second?
board.
Second.
okay, first Reza and second open the nomination. Now, I'll make a
We got to vote on that
nomination.
first. We got to vote on that one.
Voted all.
Unanimous?
Unanimous?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Before we do
I'm
that,
sorry.
I do have an email letter from Director Johnson. She wants me to read it before we do any voting. Is that okay with you?
Let's do the nomination.
Let's
and
do the
then-
nomination.
I nominate Donna Ron-Sozak for the treasurer if she
That's what I
accepts.
did.
That's what she did.
Oh, she did already?
Yes, you did,
You're late.
A long time ago.
okay,
Reza
so,
Reza seconds.
okay,
Donna,
first,
wait.
just hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Peggy nominate Donna. Donna, would you accept the nomination?
I would.
Okay. So
Move we close nominations.
we close nomination? Yes. Okay, he's Peggy second.
Now you can read whatever.
No, we got to vote on closing
Yes.
nominations.
Yeah. Are we going to vote?
I thought we did.
I motion to close, Peggy second,
Yeah. It's all the
and unanimous to
unanimous
close nominations.
consent.
Now go ahead and read Ruth Johnson's whatever.
Yes. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
So there were no further nominations, just
Yeah. Oh.
So essentially, she would win by acclamation.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So let me read Ruth's email. Give me 1 second to pull it up. Okay. At a board meeting earlier this year, we elected the board members, the board officers. I had voted yes for the nominees on the condition that once we filled a full board, we would hold new elections. It was agreed to verbally by at least 2 directors. This was important to me, to my responsibility as a director, as it provides all the board members with an opportunity to select the new officers and eliminate potential for concerns going forward. We have a current opening for treasurer. I am making a motion today, which you can't, unfortunately, to give all board members an opportunity to review the director's credentials in order to make an informed choice for the January 17th, 2025 meeting. This is not to say that anyone holding an office is not qualified, but to say that we do not know what we don't know. In addition, I am requesting that the secretaries provide a package to each of us with the applicants and statements of all current directors for the third board January 1st meeting. I am resigning as secretary today to ensure that new members have an opportunity to choose anyone they wish. I expect that other officers will give the board this courtesy as well.
Who's
Ruth Johnson is resigning. She's resigning today as secretary of the board, and she wants everybody who's on the board in a position, elected position, to resubmit their credentials for a whole new review and election at our January meeting. She expects all the rest of us to resign as well, like you to resign as president, etc., and that a new vote be held in January, based on a packet of materials that the secretary would put together and submit to everybody so that we could review everybody's credentials.
What is the base of those? What we are basing that
She's
on?
saying that
Is
in a
that the
previous
CCNO?
meeting, when we voted, that she stipulated that when we had a full board, we would then vote again for officers, if I'm hearing
That
correctly.
wasn't accepted by the full board.
Right?
She made
said,
the
no,
comment.
she's saying that she and one other board member supported that position. So now, she's putting a motion on the floor. We need to see if there's a second to her motion. And if there's a second to her motion, then we need to discuss and vote on her motion. If there's no second to her motion, then all we have is her resignation as secretary.
I'm not sure if she can make a motion since she's not present today. She's technically absent.
Yeah.
She's not on Zoom as well.
Not even on Zoom,
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
so she doesn't have the availability.
She just resigning from secretary or from the board?
As secretary.
secretary? Okay.
Too bad.
Yes.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
any officer can resign, and that will be final to their wishes, okay? And we cannot deny it, we cannot approve it. Any officer can resign, that is final. So we don't need to vote on it, we don't need to do anything once any officers resign it. So it looks like we need a second, we need a motion, and all that. It seems to me out of line.
We don't need a motion for that. I was just talking about what else she's asking for. She's resigned as secretary, but in her email, she was asking that everybody else who has
Yeah.
a leadership position resign,
Resign, too.
so that we could then re-elect new officers come January. First of all, you can't have a leaderless board, no matter what you do. So it wouldn't make any sense for everybody else to resign at this moment. You'd have no leadership on the
You
board.
don't have to resign in order to have another election.
That's true.
Right.
She can call in January for another election and see if that gets approved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So she's resigned from the secretary, right? That's effective as of today.
Correct. So we
right?
have an opening on the secretary
Okay,
position.
so do we need a motion?
No, we don't need a
No,
motion. She
just-
officially
No,
resigns.
next month, we'll fill the slot.
Yeah, we'll full slide next month.
Well,
Okay, so-
can we make a motion to add that to the agenda today and get the,
I'll take a mental note of that because that's going to be on our agenda prep. So we'll add that as well.
Yeah, we'll do it on agenda
Okay.
prep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we just need to move on to the item D right now.
Okay. So,
She didn't want to read the resolutions.
so we have not voted on Donna yet, right?
Yes, we did. Yes, we
We
did.
did?
Yes, yeah.
It was unanimous.
Unanimous? Okay. I forgot. Okay. Now, we're done for
Actually,
the.
it was by acclamation, wasn't it?
Yeah, acclamation. That's correct, yes. Now, item D. Entertain motion to approve revised resolution for election of officer. Could you read it as Donna included the treasurer? And also, since she resigned, we should call for nomination next meeting, once we put that
Yeah.
on. Okay. So, take her name off from the secretary.
Yes, I do have her red line on that one right now.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and read the resolution. Give me 1 second. Appointment of officers, Resolution 03-24-XX. Resolved on December 17th, 2024, pursuant to the 3rd Laguna Hills Mutual Bylaws, Article 9, which sets guidelines, terms, and responsibilities for election of officers to this corporation. The following persons are hereby elected to the office indicated next to their names to serve. S.K. Park, President. Reza Karimi, First Vice President. Robert Muchnick, Second Vice President. Donna Rain-Zostak, Treasurer. XX, Secretary. Resolve further that the following staff person is hereby appointed as ex officio officer of this corporation. Siobhan Foster, Vice President ex officio. Carlos Rojas, Assistant Secretary ex officio. And Steve Hormuth, Assistant Treasurer ex officio. Resolve further that this resolution 03-24-142, adopted November 19th, 2024, is hereby superseded and canceled, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are directed on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution.
So moved.
Okay, who's the second? Robert moved, and Reza second.
Okay.
Any discussion further? No? Can we vote now?
Yeah, any unanimous? Like, I just put that vote in for you guys if you want. Okay.
I think we're unanimous.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, let's get on to committee reports.
Okay. We're finally done, 11. And then item 12, third mutual committee report, first A. Let's go quick.
Give me 1 second, sorry.
Once? Okay.
1 second, I gotta pull it up.
Okay.
I gotta take my notes, sorry.
Ready? Yep, okay. Donna, you ready?
I am ready. At first, I want to thank you all. I am doing the treasurer's report in the absence of the treasurer, Craig Wayne, not in my new role, but I'll do it that way as well. If we go to slide number 1, this is sort of the 30,000-foot level. It's just looking at all of our revenue, whether it's assessment, non-assessment, against all of our expenses. And you can see that our revenue exceeded our expenses by $2,762,000. As we move on to the next slide, it's important in finance that we keep a close eye on the operating portion of our financial results. This is the money, these are the funds we expect to have to expend during the year. These are the issues that we expect to come up. And of the total assessment revenue, which you saw on slide number 1, $23 million of it, and $2.6 million of non-assessment revenue has been set aside into the operating fund. You can see that our total expenses exceeded that amount by $301,000. We'll look at that more closely on slide number 4. On slide number 3, we talk about the full income and compare it to the budget. And you can see, looking very quickly at it, again, we are showing that total revenue, the variance from budget, was on the negative side of $375,000. And again, we will look at that very closely as we move forward. Going on to slide number 4. This is my favorite because green means good and red means not as good. So basically, these are the most significant variances from budget. And you can see that insurance, this is very exciting. It was mentioned in the CEO's report that combined agreement of United and Third Mutual doing our insurance together resulted in significant savings for both mutuals and almost $900,000 for Third itself. Employee compensation, that's sort of a mixed bag in terms of positiveness because we are in the green excessively because of open positions. That's not where we want to be, but we heard earlier they're working on it, and we're filling positions as best and quickly and efficiently as we can. Investment income was a very, very positive, and that's because at the time that our reinvestment in Treasury bills, we anticipated that interest rates would be about 2.5%, and instead, they averaged 4.6%. So we have a very nice return on our investments of almost $700,000. On the red side, on that negative side where we deviated significantly in the wrong direction, our legal fees were unfavorable, primarily due to more resident-related legal fees than anticipated, and we do have to respond when there is something brought up that requires legal assistance. We work on it all the time, but some things we can't control. In terms of fees, charges to residents, that is $1 million, that is negative, and it is primarily an unfavorable variance, primarily due to the fact that we received less revenue than anticipated for backlog damage restoration cases. So they weren't worth what we thought they would be worth when the insurance settled, and therefore we received less money than anticipated in that specific area. As we move on to slide number 5, this table, we look at our non-assessment revenues only earned by category, and we compare them to our budget and the prior year's actuals. And it's a very messy slide in that it's not identified as clearly as we might like, but you can see we compare 23 to 24, actual to budgeted, and the year-to-date variance, and again, resident maintenance fees. We have not received as much as anticipated, and that I believe we are not having many people in arrears so much as we just didn't anticipate what was due to us and some things that we thought would be backlogged. And you can look at that and see that our total non-assessment revenues were still, with all things considered, $5 million in above budget. As we move on to slide number 6, here we're looking at our expenses by category and just comparing them to the current year's budget and the prior year's actuals. Our largest category as of October 31st were employee compensation and related outside services, insurance. These expenses totaled $37 million. This used to be presented in a pie chart, and it was very easy to see how much of that pie went to employee compensation, how much went to insurance. And so I am going, with your permission, going to request that we go back to that pie chart. This just doesn't show the picture, and a picture, as they say, is worth 1,000 words. So next on, expect to see that looking a little bit different. Slide number 7. This is the non-operating fund, the multiple non-operating fund balances. And those are replacement funds, the Garden Villa Fund, which is a very small one, but a very mighty one, very important one. The Disaster Fund. Unappropriated expenditures is really our contingency fund, those things that are going to occur and we can't quite anticipate them, so we set aside what we think we will need. And as you can see, our total balances are per fund across the bottom with a total of $36.5 million. As we move on to slide number 8, this slide is a very clear slide. I love bar charts because you can see them very quickly, but it isn't in the same order as the previous slide that discussed them. So next month we will see the representation in the same order that it's on the bar chart, so it's much easier to follow. There's a very, very thin, tiny line across the top that represents the Garden Villa Rec Room Fund. As I mentioned earlier, it is small but very, very important. And the unappropriated expenditures, the disaster fund in yellow, and the replacement funds. What you will see is that The replacement funds we continue to increase that amount. As this community ages, as our buildings age, we know we're going to have greater maintenance. So we have been replacing those funds. You'll notice a difference in the disaster fund. It dropped for a while, and it is staying a little bit lower than it has been over the past few years. And the reason for that is we now have earthquake insurance. And so since earthquake is one of the disasters we're always concerned about, there is not concern, or has not been as yet, any concern about the fact that keeping it just a little bit smaller, since we do have insurance to cover that. And if there are no questions on that, we move to slide number 9. This one shows our resales, and we always like to report that. And if you look at that little box in the upper right corner, you will see that our number of resales has declined actually each year. Maybe it's because people are happier and staying here longer. We don't know. But the resales have declined. However, as you can see, the average resale price has increased. We always have to look at that, though, with a grain of salt, because there are some units that are considerably higher, approaching 1.5 to close to $2 million. And so it sometimes skews that a little bit higher, but we are definitely moving in the right direction in terms of property values. And that's something that's important. And with that, that concludes the finance report.
Thank you, Donna. Next item. Oh, do we have any questions regarding? Yes.
Just one on the financial report. It has legal fees in the red of $208,000. Is that the total of legal fees, or is that where they went over budget?
It was over budget because the number is smaller than that's where we were over budget, as my understanding.
Yeah.
As the
It was
fill-in
over
treasurer
budget by
as of
by
today.
that amount.
Yeah.
Yes. Over budget by $208,000.
Got it.
And next month I'll have a fuller response, since I didn't have time to meet with the treasurer and I'm filling
Next
in.
month she will digest pretty well, I think.
Well, and I'll have
By
met with
then.
him, and I won't be doing it from getting a phone
When
call
I
at
came
11 o'clock
on-
last night saying do it.
When I came on the board in 2016 or 17, our entire legal fee was $107,000 a year.
Yes.
And the next year, it was $114,000. And then we made changes.
Okay.
No, just to kind of bring something, that we received a $150,000 check for the, legal costs, which going to reduce this over budget
For next
by
month.
$150,000. That's going to reflect in next month, I think.
Right, I think so.
Where'd they come from?
Can't say publicly. We can't say.
I don't know. I'm not privy to this.
Okay, thank you, Jewel. We don't have any more questions, right? Okay. Item B, Architectural Control and Standard Committee. Director Yun.
Yeah. We approved the flooring material so we can hear less noise. But I have a different concern. I've been exchanging some of the email to our members, and there's an issue. They didn't go through approval process, and then they amended it without any approval. And then, to my surprise, once they got all completed, there are several issues. And I think Third Mutual gonna allow that or not allow that, significantly, discourage it. But the fine is $300. Not only $300, if we don't approve it within 60 days, they're gonna be approved automatically. So basically, if I'm the owner to amend it, that alteration, why should I go through all that process, waiting, all that? Or just alter it, or just reconstruct it, or whatever we did. And then if the time comes, I'm going to only pay $300. This is the current situation. I was very alarmed. We didn't do anything until now. When I look at it, I like to do something about it. And I think everybody have to go through the rule what we set it up. If anything bypassed it, circumvented it, need to be significantly discouraged it or heavily fined. That is my position. I'm going to bring that up again and again. And I'd like to see all the members' input on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next item is maintenance and construction. Director Kuremi.
Yeah, the last meeting was on November 4th, which was reported in the month of November for the board. Our next meeting is January 6, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. in the boardroom. Thank you.
Okay. Now, next item is our landscape committee meeting. Third mutual landscape committee meeting was held on December 5, 2024, 1:30 p.m. in this boardroom. Department head updated for project log, tree works, union workers training, quality control monthly report. Staff reported significant change that tree maintenance contract services in 2025 will change to Bartlett Tree Services in place of a Great Scott Tree Service in 2024. And our slope maintenance in 2025 will also change to MTC instead of current Mission Landscape. I think change is a good change at this point. Staff introduced a dudek tree planting program in Gate 9 and Gate 10 area during 2025. Committee discussed and considered the followings. A, 2025 in-house slope list and plan. Slope maintenance will be done twice a year at this point for the in-house slope maintenance. Item B, PPRP, which is a prior paint landscaping project progress report. First, 3312 and 3319 is a 90-day maintenance schedule start on November 25, 2024. 3317 through 3319 unit area, final punch list on November 25th, 2024. Other ongoing activity for PPRP project areas are 3320 through 3325 and the 4001, 4002, 4003, and 4004. And third, Landscape Committee next meeting is scheduled on Thursday, January 2nd, 9:30 a.m. in this boardroom. Thank you. Okay, now next item is report of a Water Conservation Committee. Donna Raisdeck, we haven't had any, right? So
It last met April 25th of
Yep.
2024. I do want to share with any of our listeners and certainly with the board, we will be meeting quarterly per our regulations and rules. And I'd like to, at this time, invite any of our members to attend. We will be meeting next on January the 30th. We will always meet on the last Thursday of the month at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in January, April, July, and October. And so our next meeting will be January 30th. It will be at 2 o'clock in the Elm Room. And the reason for that is that the Elm Room is on the main floor. It's very accessible physically so that any of our members can come and join us. And it also lends itself to people sitting at the table. We could do it in the boardroom, but there's a distance created. And for the Water Committee, we kind of need some discussion and we need to hear from people. And so we will try that and we will have it in the boardroom, in the Elm Room, in the January meeting. And I just want to share with you very quickly, there has been a lot going on. October 17th was H2O for HOAs put on by the combined water districts of South Orange County. And several of your board members and several of our members of the community attended that. It was an excellent program. And one of the most exciting things to come out of it was the potential, they talked about potential funding opportunities, whether through grants or whatever. So we'll be following that up through our relationship with El Toro, and also looking at, believe it or not, at Fish and Wildlife, and who has some funds for things. So hopefully we'll see a lot. The other thing was November 14th, the Community Advisory Group that is sponsored by El Toro Water District met. Again, several folks from Laguna Woods were there. It was wonderful to see them all. And they also typically meet quarterly, and they share with us many things. This time, the focus of the meeting was plans should we have an emergency and how they would help supply our water. So it was very interesting. And we'll share more of it at the next meeting, which will be, again, January 30th, 2 p.m. in the Elm Room. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Next item is Third Mutual Resident Policy and Compliance Committee meeting was held on November 27, 2024, 9:30 a.m. in this boardroom. Committee discussed and considered 3 items as follows. A, private caregiver policy. B, appeal policy that we already discussed. C, damage reimbursement policy that we already discussed today. So 3 items discussed and forward to the full board meeting today. Next, the resident policy and committee meeting is scheduled on Wednesday, January 29th, 9:30 a.m. in this boardroom. Thank you. Okay, that's all for committee report of third board. Now, GRF committee highlights. A, GRF Committee Activity, Community Activity Committee, Director Muchnick, please.
Thank you. The committee met on December 12th. We had a fairly full schedule. There was a request to move the children's swim location, which is currently at Pool 2. And the request was based on a number of complaints from residents who felt that the children swimming in the same area then was problematic, and they wanted the children's swim to be moved to another pool. The Community Activities Committee at this point has rejected that request, saying that they feel that no matter which pool they would move the kids to, there would then be complaints at the new pool from residents. So they declined to move the swim. All right. There was also a very nice donation from the Korean American Association. They donated $5,000 worth of disposable coffee cups that will be used in the drop-in lounge in Clubhouse 1. And this is single-use cups, and they've been approved for this for the 1 year. So we thank the Korean American Association. Also, a drill press was accepted as a donation for the wood shop. It will replace an old press that is no longer functional. The January Bazaar will be held from 10 to 2 on January 25th. They hold this bazaar a number of times per year. Folks can sign up for one of the 40 tables available beginning January 8th at 8 a.m. If you are interested in one of those 40 tables, folks, you really need to be online and ready to go at 8 a.m. on the dot, because those 40 tables go very, very quickly. Also, there are 2 new classes, a Latin line dance class on Thursday from 9 to 11 at Clubhouse 1, and a hula dance class Mondays at 1 in Clubhouse 5. Both of these new classes are free. So if you're interested in line dancing, Latin line dancing or hula dancing, those now are available to you. And just as an update, there are currently 250 residents on the waiting list for a garden plot. The next meeting of the Community Activities Committee is January 9th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. here in the boardroom.
Okay, next item is a closed traffic hearing was held on November 20, 2024, right after our board meeting last November meeting, 9:30 a.m. in this boardroom. In the traffic hearing, 8 violations were reviewed as follows. 6, failure to obey stop sign, guilty and fine. 2, 1 over 16 miles per hour speed limit, guilty and fine. 3, 16 miles over. 1 abandoned vehicle, guilty and fine. 1 expired vehicle registration, guilty and fine. I'm just like to remind everyone, starting next January 1st, fines will be pretty much more than double of what we are imposing at this point. So be careful of your speed, be careful of your obeying stop sign. Thank you. Next traffic hearing is scheduled on December 18, tomorrow, in this boardroom, but it has been canceled because of only 2 violations to be reviewed. Okay, thank you. Next item is Disaster Preparedness Task Force. Director Wayne is not here, so we will skip that one. I think we do not have to report because it's November 26th. Next meeting will be January 28th. Item D, GRF Maintenance Construction, Director Karimi.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee met on December 11. Unfortunately, I was out of office at that time. My replacement is on vacation, so I don't have a report.
Okay.
I apologize for that. And our next meeting is February 12, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. in the boardroom.
Okay, next item is GRF Finance Committee. Director Wayne is not here. I'm sure he attended the meeting, but we'll ask him next boardroom, next meeting. But Donna will report that.
Yeah, and that committee will be meeting tomorrow afternoon here in the boardroom.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item is GRF Mobility and Vehicles Committee. Director Johnson is not here also, so we can ask her to report next meeting, or perhaps we can wait next to February 5th meeting as well. Item G, GRF Landscape Committee. I have to report. GRF Landscape Committee meeting was held on December 11, 2024, 1:30 p.m. in this boardroom. In that committee discussed agenda items and considered the followings. First, department head update the Aliso Creek document, which will renew the contract for 10 years instead of every year, so that we can go clean up the Aliso Creek. 2, deny the tree removal request made by 4005 2F residents, request staff for tree maintenance as well. Number item 3, deny Clubhouse 5 walking path. It's a separate path that they request and denied it. Next, the GRF Landscape Committee meeting is scheduled on February 12th, 2025 in this boardroom, 1:30 p.m. Thank you. Okay, landscape. GRF Media and Communication Committee, Director Moore, could you report whatever?
Yes, the committee met on October 30th, 2024. The next meeting is January 20th at 1:30 in the boardroom.
Okay, good, thank you. Space Planning Ad Hoc Committee, Director Karimi, but we have not had this meeting for a long time, so I assume we don't have
Yeah,
any
it's a
meetings.
committee on ice. So.
Right. Committee is just on hold. Information Technology Advisory Committee, ITAC, we scheduled October 25th, and then we canceled it since we go live September, and it's been working pretty well. Next meeting scheduled December 27th, but it has been also canceled as well. So we will let you know whenever ITAC's meeting scheduled. Okay, now next item is GRF Board Ad Hoc Committee, Broadband Ad Hoc Committee. Director Uchnik.
Okay. The committee last met on November 18th, It has no currently scheduled meetings as of this date. The process for the fiber optic program to upgrade the internet and the streaming TV project is in progress.
Okay, thank you. Next item, but the last one, GRF and Security and Community Access Committee. Director Wayne is not here, so we do not have anything to report at this moment.
The last meeting was October 23rd, so
Yeah.
there wouldn't have been anything to report. The next meeting is February 26th.
Right, so we will have some report after that meeting. Okay, thank you. Okay, it's done for the report for the GRF committee meeting. Now, item 14, future agenda items. We have two. One is the damage reimbursement administration fee, and entertain motion to reconsider appeal policy. We already directed the staff. Okay, yes.
Sorry, one more thing. Director Creamy, what was the item you wanted to add earlier?
Secretary.
Secretary.
Vote-
yes.
Yeah, we have to consider voting for secretary.
Thank you.
Don't wake me up like that.
That's why I got you covered.
Okay, so any more future items for next month? Donna, no?
No.
No, okay. If none, then we'll have director comments. Director Howard Fox, so you don't have any? How about Jules? No? Peggy?
No.
Okay. Robert?
Well, at least you didn't resign. Director Fox. I do have some comments. I would like to, first of all, wish everyone a happy holiday season, since we will not be seeing you or meeting with you until January. So whatever you celebrate, be it Hanukkah, Christmas, or Kwanzaa, or whatever else, happy holiday to you and your family, and to the VMS staff. Thank you.
Okay. Director Cruz?
Yeah, I just want to say that I really truly believe that every member of this board really work hard to protect the interests of our mutual and the interests of our members. Also, this board worked hard and to make sound judgment and fairness in our process to protect our community and our members. For that reason, I wish everyone happy holidays.
Thank you. Director Yoon?
I guess him first. He's coming this way.
Any comment?
This is the last meeting to this year, and thank you for everybody. And the transition was pretty smooth, and we got a lot of new faces, new input. But one thing I would like to say for everybody at the board as well as all the residents, there's a rule, CCNR, or all other rules. It's just for everybody here. So we have to abide by. If we don't like it, we need to change it. Until the change is done, we have to abide by. So nobody can go above it, nobody can go below it. Everybody have to follow the rule. I've seen that many people trying to go above it or down below. Everybody have to follow the rule. Thank you.
Thank you. Donna?
Okay. Thank you. First, I'd like to second Director Muchnick's wishes for happy holidays to everybody. And I would like to thank the board for its support and returning me to the position of treasurer, which I did serve in recently up until previous year, and look forward to fulfilling that role to the best of my ability. And with that, happy holidays to everybody and Happy New Year.
My comment is a thank you for helping board, all the residents. However, I'm new. I do not know everything. I'll learn quick. I'll try to manage our board as efficient as we can, and will be the good board decision. Thank you. So now, adjourn the meeting, and we'll see you at closed meeting. 12:30. How's that sound?